Hello everybody, welcome you all to this webinar on MSc Marketing. The potential students, stakeholders, whoever is interested to know more about this particular program. I'll give you some information as the program leader for this particular program at Lincoln International Business School. And the program is called MSc Marketing. It's a generic marketing master's program. Okay, on the slide you can see how it looks like during the night time. It looks fabulous in here where we are based. In fact, that's one of the, from marketing perspective, one of the key selling points, Lincoln as a place. It's a beautiful place, small is beautiful as they say. And in terms of accommodation, proximity to major things that you need, it's one of the very good cities to live in from students' perspective, I would say. That's my email address. After this webinar, if you want to get in touch with me, please feel free to email me about any academic queries. Also, on the website, the email address is given, so you can take it from there as well. About any admin related issues, please get in touch with Gemma or Ricky, our fantastic postgraduate administrators, and they will help you answer any queries that you may have about any administrative related issues relating to the program. The plan for the session, I wanted to give you a brief background, how we have created this teaching and learning environment here for this particular program. Of course, it's part of International Business School, so many of these are generic and common. The employment areas that many of you might be interested in, and how it helps you for further research as well. I know some students have previously come to me that they wanted to do some work, in terms of MPhil or PhD. They're interested in specific areas. It's a good preparatory course in marketing, so you could consider that as well. And the structure, I'll mostly talk about the modules. Again, probably we can't cover everything in this particular webinar, but feel free to ask me questions. There will be time given, what I've been briefed, so feel free to ask me questions about anything that you wanted to know. Historically, we have been running it as a full-time 1-year-long course, but at the moment, it's offered part-time as well, which means you could take 2 modules instead of 4 modules per term, and then you finish in about 2 years' time. And we have also made it available because of popular demand for students to start in February. We've already had 1 intake this year. It's been quite successful, the way we've run it. The students have said they have liked the atmosphere and everything. So feel free to take your time. If you don't want to start in September this year, February 2019 is a very good option for you as well. And it's the same module, the same kind of experience that you'll be having. Prepares the students for career in advertising, marketing and public relations. And also I've had a number of students who work in generalist kind of role, because marketing, looking after business to business kind of context in a particular organization, external affairs, all these are pertinent to what you'll be learning. And transferable skill is something that we want to inculcate in the students, so we wouldn't really want to restrict you that you are only prepared for advertising or public relations kind of career. You can utilize the transferable skill in different sectors, be it public, be it private, be it third sector, I mean non-profit. Okay. Lectures are quite common in the UK, especially the international students probably you need to know about it. And we have got something quite unique compared to many other countries called seminars, where a small group of students meet with the seminar tutor to discuss specific topics in greater detail, more personal, more specific kind of discussion, discursive kind of atmosphere we try to create in those seminars. I think we don't have more than 20 at the moment. We try to restrict to that. So that's sort of atmosphere you can get in seminars. In lectures, it's more of one-to-many kind of delivery method. That's quite common. We have tutorials as well. We have case studies method that we try to adopt in many of the modules, in teaching, in assessments, in different modules. Formative assessment, what we mean by that is many of the assessments are developmental, you know, for international students, for local students, if you are from different backgrounds, you know. In fact, that's another thing I want to mention. Many students in MSc Marketing, they come from history, computing, different backgrounds. So we help you in achieving to the best of your potential. If you don't understand something, there are developmental assessments that are given to you, and you can learn from those developmental formative assessments. Presentations, mock assessments, mock viva, it's quite common in our program. There's a variety of assessment methods because we don't want to really advantage or disadvantage students by giving only exam or presentation. It's a different type of variety of assessments that we have depending on your strength, you know, your ability, your orientation, you could perform. You know, some are good at presentation, some are good at exam, but we have all of them, you know, in different modules partially, so that you have a holistic and different type of assessments that you can get. Student as producer, I don't know whether many of you are accustomed to this. It is a concept where the students take an active role in negotiating what sort of topic they want to research for, meeting the requirements of the assessments, and they also produce something that's sometimes of publishable quality. It could be a case study, it could be a research-based work that the students could be producing, and when you have that, it advantages in two ways, the students and the staff. You could publish it and you could progress. You could show to the employer that, you know, you've done something that's quite unique, independent, different, especially at dissertation level also. It helps a lot because you do something quite unique. It's research-based, and from the staff members' perspective, you could co-create. You could do something together, and that's part of what we do really. We try to really contribute to the body of knowledge of marketing, and students help us in many ways in producing that sort of quality output, research outputs in the short and long run across all levels, undergraduate, postgraduate, taught and research, PhD students as well. So what's the difference? Some of you have possibly undertaken, not possibly, you have undergrad courses. How is it different? I would say you're more mature, postgrad students in terms of age, in terms of life experience, in terms of what you want to do, because you're more cautious about choosing your subject area now, because you're trying to make it more career specific. You're trying to differentiate from other people. Some of you are trying to really get a better qualification compared to only bachelor's only that many of your peer groups will have. So you are differentiating, you are thinking, you are taking kind of control of your own future in a way. So that sort of responsibility we try to expect from the postgraduate students. You maintain your time, you kind of, you know, take responsibility of your own learning, your progress, and you meet deadlines, of course. Many of the assessments will be time constrained, so you have to really make sure that project management skills, being able to really negotiate, being able to work with the other group members, making sure that it is having that sort of completion, the tasks that you have been assigned, those skills are there, and those are valuable skills. The employers really like those kind of skills in the industry. Generally 12 hours, it might, look a bit low, but in terms of actual time that you have to give per module, is 10 hours per week. So it's almost like a full-time job. If you're a full-time student, you need to give about 40 hours per week. And of course, depending on your ability, how quickly you are, understanding the issues, etc., you might give slightly less or more. But if you are a full-time student, my expectation will be as a program leader that you are engaged full-time. If you're a part-time student, the expectations probably is that you have your own kind of job or other responsibilities. But for full-time engagement, you need to think like that. You could have a part-time job, but we'd be expecting that you are engaged full-time and you're completing all the assessments, etc. on time. Because it's 12 weeks per term, they run quite fast, and before you understand the deadlines tend to knock on your door. So you need to really be thinking all the times what I have to do, formative assessments, different components of assessments in different modules, they will always be there around the corner. So you have to really make sure that you're on top of those things. Group meetings will be there, field research, it takes a lot of time getting to know students from different parts of the world. Some of you will have to learn how to cook, so it's a different kind of environment, living without parents, learning how to spend time in the library, which is again a new experience. You kind of manage your own time, you decide whether you want to talk to people in those particular times when you have set aside for library work. So that sort of professional work ethic we want to really embed in the students from the student life, so that when they go on to the professional work environment, they can produce work to the employer's satisfaction and requirement. Different roles. Our previous students, I've been working here for a number of years, in fact. My previous students have taken on many of these type of positions in the industry across marketing, advertising, public relation functions. As I said, some of them are quite generic. In fact, some of the functions like external affairs, press, event, these sort of positions, they work with the CEO, or vice chancellor in many cases. It doesn't have to be only marketing department or marketing specific functions that you work in. In terms of sectors, as you see, most of them are private sector oriented. Marketing as a subject, it has evolved, if you think about the evolution of business kind of education, mostly from North America, it has had private sector focus. But now, because of the definition of product and service that we offer, the broadening of that, we tend to think about public sector, third sector, National Health Service, in the UK, they need marketing function as well. County councils need marketing functions as well. So in a way, it's not only private sector, but third sector, which includes non-profit, and public sector. Huge part of the way we do things are coordinated by the public sector. The money comes from them. And a lot of advertising, a lot of communications related jobs are related to those government jobs as well. So there's a scope to contribute to those sort of sectors as well. Some of you I know are interested in research, not only within the marketing master's component, but also furthering your own kind of CV and potential in terms of doing independent research in PhD marketing, that sort of courses. It's a very good preparatory course for that. Within the program, we have in every module some research component that will give you essential marketing research skills, management of project related skills, applied marketing skills as well, because you'll be working on actual brands that exist in most of the cases. And you'll be in some of the modules, like group consultancy project, if you choose, which is an optional module, you'll work with live clients as well. So that's applied nature research as well. And you consult them on a particular topic that you again co-create. You get briefed and then you work on it, you do some research, you present, and then those works are marked in consultation with the people that you have presented to. Qualitative research, quantitative research, all these mixed method as well, a combination of these two. Again, there's a module called Research Methods and Design, in which these are taught. And again, in the dissertation, which you do after completing the 8 modules, there you could choose one of these methods if you're doing primary research. So we have given you options. At the same time, we give you training as part of the program, how to adopt, how to really utilize some of these research methods. Okay, as I said, those of you who are interested in research, please get in touch with us. We can help you in terms of what areas you could possibly look at later on, because we have a number of members of staff having interest in relationship marketing, in international marketing, a number of staff members interested in marketing communications, because we have a huge advertising undergrad program at the university, at the business school, so because of which we need a number of marketing communications lecturers. So a number of people from different backgrounds. Some are interested in corporate communications, some are interested in digital marketing, so feel free to get in touch with us. Tourism aspect, because we're part of the Department of Tourism and Marketing, so if you are interested in that sort of sector as well, the marketing aspect of tourism, leisure, hospitality, we could help you there as well. Another thing, compared to many other subject areas, I'd like to focus or mention, marketing is very much part of what we do as a consumer, really. It's part of our consumer lifestyle. We all watch television, we all buy products, services. It's just a matter of looking at it, how consumers make decisions in consumer behavior model, for example, how internationally we're doing it. You know, if you are going beyond the UK, for example, if it's a UK-based company, or if you're coming to the UK market, what are the factors to consider, how they're different, how to segment, target, position, all these things are covered. And we're not really, compared to many other subjects, that's a very remote from reality. It's not like that. It's part and parcel of what we do, really, on day-to-day basis. There's a good balance between theory and practice. So those of you who don't want to choose a very theoretical subject, you know, I wouldn't mention any. Please feel free to choose marketing, which is very applied. You know, we talk about more of application of theories, and those theories are not very complicated, to be honest with you. You just have to apply. You have to really make sure that you understand how to really do well for the business that you are working in the long run. How to add value as well, because it's not only making money, it's also, you know, as they say, people, planet, and profits. So how to really make sure that the value proposition that you're trying to add, how they take care of all the stakeholders and for the betterment of the society, including businesses, you could say. Employers are always looking for good marketers. As I said, marketing is one of the key functions within business. So I can't think about any particular organization without marketing as a key function. And whenever they have it, there's relevance for people who are specialized in marketing areas. Okay, so if you hypothetically started in September 2018, when will you finish? In 12 months' time. By the end of 2019, I'd be expecting that you have completed your dissertation, you have submitted. And if you're doing part-time, around 2 years' time, it depends how many modules you're taking. If you are kind of starting, let's say, in February, then it will be next year's February. If you start February 2018, if you apply now, start in 2019, then you'll be finishing in 2020, February sort of time. Where the students have come from, all over the world, to be honest. I've forgotten to give Uganda, Nigeria, the African names, but we've had students from all over the world, to be honest, you know, and they're all of good quality. So wherever you are, you know, based in the UK, whatever origins you have, feel free to, you know, be part of this particular program, because it's a very international cohort this year as well, and students really benefit from talking to each other. And marketing as a subject, it's very international. Because of the globalization, most of the products, services that we offer to the global consumer, you know, online as well, they're interrelated. The supply chain is interrelated as well. It's a globalized environment. So networking opportunity, international aspect, you know, those areas are part and parcel of today's business graduate, part and parcel of the transferable skill as well, you know, and possibly that's one of the value additions coming to the UK as well, that you can think about compared to studying in the local market conditions where you are based, if you are based internationally. Okay, so what are the differentiating kind of factors in Lincoln Business School and in marketing area? I'll say it's great as a generalist and conversion course. If you are an engineering graduate, you know, if you are a history graduate, English graduate, feel free to, you know, do this particular conversion course, and you'll be part of the business world, which is a huge contributor to the global economy, you could say. It's very applied, you know, it's very creative, especially marketing communications module, digital marketing module. These are very creative modules, you could say as well. The assignments are very creative as well. I think another feature compared to other business disciplines or other disciplines is we have a lot of academics who have come from practitioner background. So you'll not be really divorced from reality. It's part and parcel of how the businesses operate. So we have academics who contribute to the body of knowledge in terms of research output, as well as academics who have worked in the real world and who can talk about the brands, how they do things. Many have worked previously, and now, just like myself, I've worked previously. Now, mostly for the last few years, I've been working in the academia, but I can talk about some of those things. But there are recent practitioners as well. That really is a huge value addition, especially in a subject area like marketing. That's quite applied. It's not theoretical at all. And we are in touch with developments in the real world. We know that international aspects are quite important, the way the world operates at the moment. So we've got modules like international marketing and customers. We've got modules like global relationship marketing. Those cover that international aspect. Digital marketing, probably many of you who are watching, you spend 10, 15 hours a day, online, including myself. So, you're not alone. It's part of the digital, revolution. Marketers, they play a huge part there, because if the consumers are spending a lot of time online on digital media, there's a opportunity scope for marketers to talk to them. Of course, there are ethical aspects there, but we need to make the most of the opportunities. That's what marketing is all about sometimes. Group consultancy project, working with real life clients. We have optional module. An optional module called Group Consultancy Project. You work in a group, you work with a live client, and on the basis of the brief that you have been given, you deliver. Guest speakers, field trips, that's part of the program as well. Some of them are specific to the program, to the modules, like international marketing and customers. We had Pipers, a company that produces crisps and other products, coming in to, giving us a brief. The students worked on that, produced assignments. They learned the theoretical aspects, also the applied aspect. And we from time to time, go for field trips as well. Not only the master's students, the undergrad students as well. So all these help foster that sort of understanding, how marketing operates. And I think employability is a big factor these days. We want to produce graduates who are employable. So these, inclusion of these field trips, guest speakers in the business school, in the program, in the modular level, at the modular level, really helps, have a tick there in terms of giving a good career prospect and understanding how the real world operates to the students. So what are the modules? Consumer behavior. In fact, marketing, some academics might disagree with me. Marketing tends to borrow quite a lot from psychology, sociology, economics, and statistics. So if you look at there as well, it's a reflection of that. Consumer behavior, a lot from psychology, marketing communications, a lot from there as well. Sociological understanding of the consumer, different profiles, that really helps in producing the advertising campaign, social profiles especially. International marketing and customers, of course, the international dimension is there. Finance and accounting, because you'll be dealing with budgets, numbers. You have to interpret, you have to give commission projects that help you understand the market better, internationally or locally. We need some sort of finance and accounting, numerical skills there. Digital marketing, of course, global relationship marketing, how to manage relationships globally, relational strategies as well, online, offline, research methods and design that prepares you in terms of a good understanding in qualitative research method, quantitative research method. Then that again helps you do your dissertation that you do for the final 60 credit of your program. If you don't do the dissertation, it's postgraduate diploma. If you do the dissertation, it's master's. So dissertation is really the differentiating point between a master's student and not. Optional module, you've got a number of optional modules. In fact, a group consultancy project, which is very applied. You've got international entrepreneurship. When we have huge demand, especially for the September cohort, we tend to offer other modules as well, based on staff availability, of course, their research interest, the students of also choosing some of those modules as well. It depends, it varies, but there's a number of modules that we try to offer from time to time, based on what we can. Okay, so if you go to the site, you'll see that you can apply online if you wanted to. Apply for September, there's still places, you could please. Or February, if you think you need to take some more time, feel free to give yourself some time and you could start, especially this particular program. Many programs you can't, but this you can, MSc Marketing, because there's a large number of students wanting to do it in February. And don't worry about accommodation and the other things. The university is very helpful in terms of providing advice, what are available and different facilities that are close by within the university. The library is literally a few steps away from where we are based, so that's quite useful. Most of the shopping you can do, walking about, so you don't have to really worry too much about living here. It's mostly about choosing the program, and engaging yourself and making that decision as well. Thank you very much for your time. That will be my delivery for this, but I've got time for questions and answers. I think we could proceed with that if there are any.
Yes, we've got a couple of questions. The first one is, you said that some of the academics that teach on the program are practitioners. Where have those academics previously worked?
One of the academics has, I'll not be mentioning names, worked in Mars, one of the chocolate brands, a huge brand in fact. And she worked in consumer insights, marketing research and marketing coordination in general. I myself have worked in advertising industry, and if you work in advertising, the advantage is you work on a number of brands because of being in one place, working with different clients. Yeah. On the client side, we've had academics working in engineering sector as well. I know, again, I'll not be mentioning names, but I know. Some of the academics have worked in other sectors. They do consultancy projects alongside this. We had an academic who used to run an advertising agency herself. So it's very much there, it's part of what we do, you could say.
Okay. So with the group consultancy project, you said that they work with a crisp company. What other organisations do we get to work with that are external to the university?
Siemens is quite big. They're based here, in fact. They have an office here. So we have Siemens, the German company, engineering company, as many of you know. We have other companies that are based here. It doesn't have to be as big as Siemens, but Enterprise Rent-A-Car, American company who've come to the UK. They have offices there. I know some students are working there. Different types, in fact. I know some because I've been working here for some time. I know some students on my LinkedIn profile who are, part of the county council. In fact, one of the students is a councillor as well. So there's a number of, industries, sectors, achievements that we see around us.
Okay, and then the final question that we have come in. You said that it's quite a large cohort for the MSc Marketing program. How many students typically join the program in the September and February intake?
Yes, we are the second largest after MSc International Business. For MSc Marketing, we are projected to have 56 students for the September intake. After today's session, if there are more, it could be around 60, 70 for the September. And for February, because we just started doing it, it's not that big. I think this year we had 11 students, but I'm thinking about 20, 25 maybe, next February. It all depends how many show interest and how many want to really withhold it for a few months rather than starting in September.
Well, yeah, that's it. Those are all the questions we've got, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your time as well. Okay.